Good morning, good to see you. So the first thing you need to do if you want to do this is you need an audio interface with at least 2 inputs. That's what you need. It could be a solo, it could be a Scarlett 2i2, but it needs 2 inputs. So what you want to do is in GarageBand, you bring up your 2 audio tracks. We're going to use audio tracks. Record enable, it also works with software instrument tracks as well though. So what you want to do is you want to set your first one, Sapphire 1, that's my audio interface, which you can see in this image here. Sapphire 2, we're going to set it to the other input. So one is for my guitar amp and one is for a microphone in the microphone booth. So there, we got Sapphire 1 and 2 just like that. We're going to have monitoring on so you can actually hear it. So what we want to do from here is we want to go Option T, bring up Record Enable like that with Option T, click Record Enable. And now we have the option to enable recording on both. And it's important that you set your inputs in the smart controls down here like I showed you a second ago. If you don't do that, the record enable, it won't allow you to do it on both tracks. And you can do this with as many tracks as you have with your audio interface. If you have 8 tracks on your audio interface or 8 inputs, you can have 8 tracks here. And you can also do the same thing with software instrument tracks. So I'm gonna hit record just like this, and I'm gonna press play on my loop. And then we're gonna go into my recording booth. Here's my recording booth. So here's my mic and stuff. And just like that, we have a multi-track recording. Now obviously this was just a demonstration. you want to have your monitoring set up so that your headphones are connected to your audio interface, and then the singer can listen to their headphones while they're singing. All right, so what about if you want to listen, right? You're the engineer or the producer, whatever you call yourself. You want to listen and you want your singer to be able to listen as well, and maybe you even want someone else to listen. Well, what you need is you actually need a headphone splitter. And then so you can connect your headphone splitter into the back of your audio interface, and that will allow you to pair up multiple pairs of headphones or monitors if you wanted. That way everybody can monitor and everybody can listen, and you won't get any headphone bleed. You won't have any problems that way. So let me show you how I do that then. I'm using this little guy right here, the HM4 from Mackie. I wouldn't recommend this one specifically, even though it's very cheap and it works, just because it introduces some hiss once you get past the 50% mark. But what you do is you connect it with a stereo cable like this. You connect it to your output right here, your output like that. And then you power it with your power adapter, and then you plug in your TRS adapters right here, and then you can have headphones connected. So these headphones right now are connected to the headphones that are in here, and I would recommend using a really long extension cable for that, a TRS headphone cable, and that will allow you to configure your setup in such a way where everybody can monitor, including you and the singer. So how do you set that up once you have the headphone splitter connected to the back of your audio interface with the stereo cable? What you do is you go into your GarageBand settings, and then you would set your output device to your Sapphire. So both your input and your output will be set to your audio interface. By the way, if you want a free mixing cheat sheet, go to producersociety.com/free mixing cheat sheet. You can sign up to my list there. I'm also building a community as well, so if you want to be a part of that, you can join that. I would recommend spending at least $100 on a headphone amp. You could use the HM4 Mackie like I am. It works fine. It was approximately $50, which is very cheap. But I would going forward, if I were to do it again, I would spend at least $100. Because then you're going to get a much better device that won't introduce any gain or introduce any hiss into your sound when you're listening. So what about in GarageBand iOS? Frankly, all of the principles are the exact same. I would even recommend all the same gear. But if you want to set up multi-track recording in GarageBand iOS, you just click with your workspace open and 2 tracks open or more. Click on your gear icon, go down to Advanced, turn on multi-track recording just like that. And then you can record enable on both your tracks just like so. One thing I forgot to mention is that your audio interface, if you want to split your headphones into a bunch of different outputs so more than one person can monitor, your audio interface, it needs to have that stereo output or that output on the back for you to connect your stereo cable to your headphone amp splitter. So make sure that if you do want to get serious about multi-track recording, you want to have many different headphone outputs, make sure you either have an audio interface that has the ability to have multiple headphones, or it has the outputs on the back where you can connect it to a headphone splitter.